Welcome back. William Wynn, WW Flycorvair. Today, a book review. The bookshelves of my house line most of the rooms, and I have a lot of treasured pieces in there. One of the best things I got right here, this is Charles Lindbergh's wartime journals. His wartime journals were what he did in World War II. This makes excellent reading because this was not written, Spirit of St. Louis was almost certainly written by his wife, and it was written for mass consumption. These were his private wartime journals. When I was a student at Embry-Riddle, I was fortunate enough to have Mr. Moran as an instructor. And Mr. Moran had an enormous amount of photographs that he had from the Pacific in World War II. He was a Marine, and he was a mechanic on aircraft. And he was at some of the very places that are outlined in this book. And he had photographs of Lindbergh flying missions from there. There's always a lot of stuff where people talked about Lindbergh's role in the war. Of course, FDR, he crossed FDR, and FDR wasn't going to let him have any role at all. But he went out as a tech rep for Vought and flew a lot of missions and did some stuff. But here in the book are his private entries, and it was written just 4 years before he died. It was published when his era had long come and gone, where he didn't really have to worry too much about the scrutiny of others. But in the book, it describes lots of very private events. It describes that he was on a strafing mission and he caught a Japanese soldier out openly on the beach, and he could have easily killed him. But he said the soldier did not run away. He just stood there and faced him defiantly with his hands on his hips. And Lindbergh could not bear to shoot him. So there are lots of different stories in here. There's also stories of his ability to teach others to fly long distance by controlling manifold pressure and RPM and leaning engines. A lot of good information in here. Not that you're going to go out and operate a P-38 Lightning over water, but it shows you that the concepts that we teach with leaning and operations, this is classic stuff. The idea of FADIC controls and all sorts of other newfangled stuff, that's great and everything if you don't want to learn anything. But if you want to learn how machines operate, and operate on the same principles that people like Lindbergh understood, and really no stick and rudder flying, we don't just have the engine for you, we got the whole ethic and mentality of it. So if you're roaming around the used bookstores at Oshkosh or looking online, Wartime Journals, Charles Lindbergh, excellent read. Thanks very much. We'll see you out on the flight line.